Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. I interview Emily Palen. Emily is originally from California, but moved to Paris last year. She is the front woman of a hard-hitting rock band called Nitrous M1. We talk about the metal scene in France and how her music has evolved and changed since moving here. Hello, Emily. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Really happy when Kimberly introduced us. She's also been on the show, another fabulous musician, jazz singer, and she said, I just had to interview you.
Oh, I love her. Thanks, Kimberly.
We love Kimberly.
Let's adore you.
Shout out to Kimberly right now. Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about where you're originally from. I know you're semi-new to Paris, but talk about where you originally came from.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Michigan, Midland, Michigan. And I was there until I was 19, and then I moved to California. And I was there for a while, and now I'm and had a band in California for many years, and now I'm in Paris.
I love that. Michigan to California. You were just like, I got to get out of Michigan if I'm going to do anything big with music. That was like calling to you.
It really was. I was a classically trained, really serious classically trained musician since I was 4 years old, violin and piano. And I was on a track to do orchestra auditions and be a professional classical violinist. And really intense pressure. And I'm already set up in my head to be a perfectionist. So that combined with the classical culture and violin in particular was it was a bad combination for me. So I really had to set myself free from that. So California was that for me at that time. I just broke out of the classical box and I started to do my own music and find my own voice on the violin. And then I hit a point where I said, I got to get out of the United States. I need to go to France because I think there's an embrace of depth and emotion and bravery here in the arts and in music in particular that just really resonates with me.
So what made you land on Paris? Like, why did you choose France?
It just called to me. I came here for one of my favorite bands is Architects, a great metal band out of the UK. I don't know if you know them. Okay. Well, they were playing here, so I decided I have to go see them. So I followed them on 3 shows, and one of them was at the Olympia here in Paris. And so I was here, and then the beauty of this city brought me to my knees. It was so gorgeous, and it was just something in my spirit and my soul and my bones and my cells that I felt that I belonged here. It was a knowing that really came out of left field. I'm not French. I have no ties. I'd never been here before, but I just knew this is where you have to be for your music. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I took several trips back here to test the waters again. Do I still feel like that? Because this is a really big, massive change in my life.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah, and I love that you followed that, like the knowing, because at first it was like, oh, it's our first trip, everything's so shiny and new. But you said you came back several times and it was the same feeling.
It was the same feeling. Yeah. Because of course people are going to say, do you think, well, is that just vacation, paradise bliss? But there's something very profound here. And I think deep and old in the culture. And maybe it's a past life as well. Who knows? But I think also my future self sees where I need to be. And it's evident because I came here and within 6 months I had my band.
That's crazy. So back in Oakland, California, you had your band Nitrous M1. It's a hard-hitting rock band. And so
you just kind of left them and you're done. You're like, bye, I'll see you later.
Well, yeah. Well, it was different for me. My arrangement with the band was different in Oakland. I played with many, many wonderful people and dear friends of mine, but it was always a bit of trying to get the pieces to stay at the same time. And they kept kind of falling away. And the Bay Area is very difficult to be an artist. And it's just getting worse. It's a hard place to be.
Yeah.
So, but it just never really worked. And I was always pushing. Like, I have an intense internal life. I've gone through many things. I have an intense message to share. I needed to push it to a full metal sound. And I just wasn't able to really get that harnessed in the Bay. And it's also not much of a metal. There's metal out there, but there's a massive metal scene here.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because when you think Paris, you don't think metal scene, like it's
here though. It's so great.
Yeah, like,
I see it. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the band you created here. Like, what year did you move here? How did you pull it all together?
Yeah, really, it's these kinds of things. I really feel like it's some of my I have to be brave and do some of the step work, do the footwork that I don't like doing. So I moved here August of last year. So it's just been over a year. And on my list, I always have lists on my wall. Okay, what is my goal? What do I need to do? It's to get my band. And then I played with a couple people that didn't really jive. And then I reached out I did a session with this amazing band here called Witchorious, which people should check out. And they have some shows coming up. And so I did some vocal coaching with them. And their drummer is supremely talented. And I thought, man, he would be great in the band. So I asked for their blessing. And I said, would it be okay if I asked Paul to play with Nitrous M1? And in that band, it's Paul and his sister and the sister's partner. So they're a trio. So anyway, they gave me their blessing. They were very kind about it. And Paul was really excited to play. Then I found the bassist on a classified posting. And he was the most professional musician. He blew me away. Waldo Losada. Yeah, absolutely astounding. All of these men. And then he brought in the guitar player, who's wickedly talented. All of these men are just phenomenal. Leo Caviglioli. So it's Paul Gaget, Waldo Losada, and Leo Caviglioli. And we had one full rehearsal, and then we were in the studio.
Wow.
It was so fast.
You guys just really worked well together. It was automatic, like just a great grouping.
It was a great grouping, yeah. And it wasn't me. I really feel like I do, if I can just, it's hard to be a band leader. It's hard to really put yourself on the line for your dream because there's really no path. You're making the path every day. And you don't know, like, is this going to work? I have no idea. This is terrifying. So I have to just be within myself, to be completely honest. I have to be brave and ask if people want to be part of this. And I've been met with a lot of no's in my life. I've been met with a lot of disrespect because I was a woman, whatever those old tired issues were. When this came together, it was a power greater than me.
Definitely. It's kind of like when you get the ball rolling, things just fall into place. And it sounds like that's what happened for you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Talk a little bit about what the sound is. Like, it's hard rock, electronica, psychedelic, progressive, metal. Like, talk about your music a little bit.
Yeah. So, we just finished recording our full length album, and I'm going to talk about the engineer in the studio because he's fabulous. I'll just pump him for a little bit. Francis Caste at Studio Sainte Marthe and out in Belleville. And so we did a full metal album, and it's not the metal. The sound has evolved over the years. It's just gotten more intense, and I've figured out how to do a distortion sing as well. distorted voice as well as clean. And so there's a lot of melodic, harmonic changes, but it's almost kind of straight. I don't know if you would call it metalcore. It's maybe, a little black metal, a little gent, a little metalcore. I try to make it accessible to people and honest. So there's that. And then I also have this whole other really experimental side of myself that I really love, which is my electronica stuff, which I also release under Nitrous M1. So I have 2 albums in the queue right now, an electronica dance album. I don't really know how to categorize it, but it's kind of my like free flow. Like I have no rules. I'm going to write whatever I want. So it's more that. And then the metal album that we just finished.
I think that's so great that you can be so vast and different, like this hard metal electronica to being, a foreigner in France, just gathering this band together. And talk about what inspires the music. I mean, how do you come up with your lyrics? How do you come up with the songs?
Man, I'm just going to be really honest because that's how I have to do it in this life is a lot of that comes from confronting soul pain. It comes from, I cannot break this pattern in my life. How do I get through this? It comes from grief. It comes from looking at the world and going, knowing that we're on the precipice of we've been on this precipice of a massive shift in consciousness. And I know that I'm here to be a voice for that through my music.
I like that.
So that's really the truth of it. And then being on that, I know that that's my role. But having that be my role and my job on the planet, I know that I also have to really confront every shadow and every pain. I can't go through that without healing myself. So I have to excavate my soul.
I mean, that's some hard work.
It's hard. It's no joke. Like I'm in the middle of it right now too. I don't know if and I know other artists go through this and other humans, go through this, and it's not something that you're not a victim and it's okay. It's just, you have to know the context of what you're doing because you have to really confront, I think in this time when you're really stepping into your true light, not the false light that's, hey, I'm going to give you a record contract if you toe the line of the big man on top. It's okay. You're here to shine a light into a deeper world of truth because we have to have that. We have to uncover that on the planet right now. We have no choice. There's too much on the line. So a lot of people are here knowing that, hey, I have something to say. And I know it comes from a place of honesty. It's really vulnerable to do that. It's scary because also people don't like to be confronted. People don't want to feel. That's actually why I left California. One of the reasons, because I feel like emotionally it's pretty numb there.
Yeah.
So you start to stoke emotion and it almost repels you.
Yeah. It's like, you don't evolve that way. You have to, like you said, dig deep, deal with all this crap, this trauma. And then, you're doing it through the art, you're doing it through creativity to kind of heal and help others at the same time.
Yeah. And I think speak about things in the world in a way that's not confrontational and in the face of the status quo narrative, but it's saying, hey, we've got to look at who is really pulling the strings on all of these situations that are happening right now and call to a deeper knowing of that.
And what do you hope to do with your music? Like, obviously, like you said, you want to be vulnerable, you want to tell the truth, but what do you hope is the outcome of sharing this work?
It's really to just actualize the greatest potential for this band and for myself as an artist. It's to have myself and the members of this band who I have the utmost respect for, to give all of us a chance to really have the most success that we can, because I think that we all have worked for it and we all deserve it. Everybody deserves it. The word deserve is I don't actually like that word. I wish I could find another one in this moment. But yeah.
I love that. And talk a little bit about like the metal, the hard rock scene here in Paris. I think a lot of people don't really know much about it. Like, where are these venues? Like, is it a big group?
Yeah.
Do you share with each other? Do you work together, like collaborate all the time?
Yeah. So my experience with the metal scene here, it's obviously I'm new, and so I don't know it as well as native Parisians. But there are metal shows here all the time. I don't know if comparatively to other places in Europe, if it's less here, because I've not lived other places. I imagine it is. But compared to where in America, it's popping off all the time here. All the time. There's always a doom show happening, or some extreme like black metal, or you can just find those shows,
all the time,
multiple times a week. And then, and I think that people here, I'm sure there's competition and judgmental attitudes going on, but I also feel like with the amount of the culture here that really supports art, actually from a governmental level as well, like you do have healthcare, and you can be a supported artist from the government. I think that there's a level of safety where people aren't at each other's throats.
Yeah. It doesn't feel as cutthroat because there's safety for everybody.
Yeah.
And talk about some of the other differences you've noticed between the music scene here versus California. Like, what are some of the major differences?
Oh, my favorite one is people here really embrace the experience of a show. They go and they stay to the end, and they just give themselves up to the music completely. It's wonderful. And it's a completely different experience. And in California, what I've seen a lot is that they stand back with their arms crossed and go, I don't know. It's like, you know what? I don't, it doesn't feel good. And I have seen it for years. There. And I think here, one of my favorite shows here was I saw Sleep Token before they blew up. Absolutely are killing it on the scene right now. They're so good. But I saw them at Les Etoiles 4 years ago, and I was in tears the entire show. This guy's vessel, his voice is, there's a reason they're doing so well. I mean, it's mind blowing. And everyone at that show was just so immersed in that music. And that's what I see every time. I think people here are not ashamed to show human emotion.
Yeah. I think like you were saying about people having their arms crossed, just leaning back, like nobody wants to be vulnerable. No one wants to show that emotion. And there's a big difference here. Yeah. And you worked with a lot of different bands back in the States, like the Foo Fighters, John Paul Jones, a lot of Bay Area bands. Like, are you finding that the groups here are welcoming too, like to collaborate and do other things with bands?
Yeah, I don't think I've been here long enough to solidify those connections, but I do think that will happen. I have demos out to a couple great French bands, and they're kind of in the queue for the listening of those bands with Gojira and Alcest, who are really inspiring to me. I think that there's a kindness here and a respect that will bode well for the future. It takes a while to get those connections really. Yeah. I walk that line delicately. Yeah. I'm not going to go and knock on people's doors too much. I want to really solidify my path here. Yeah. So people know my worth. I was in California for a long time. People knew me, and I'm rebuilding that here.
Yeah, it's normal. You have to start from the ground up. And talk a little bit about how your music has changed since moving to Paris.
Yeah, one of the things that's changed is I do have a band that's committed, and that's really different. So I'm not carrying the weight musically. So how this band is I front the band with violin and singing at the same time. So I'm playing lead and rhythm violin, and I'm singing and screaming at the same time.
It's such an interesting combination. I don't think I've ever seen like a screaming violinist.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of us really should do it because it would probably be a really good pressure relief. I love that. Because being a violinist is its own whole, that's another whole episode.
Like that's,
but I love it. But it's also a lot. It was a lot of work. And when I didn't have a band that was cohesive behind me, it was like pulling weight. And now with this band, they sound great. And they're heavy and they're together and they're incredible musicians. They're fresh out of, like, their jazz harmony is on top. And the drummer just like they blow me away all the time. So I can really kind of relax and lean back on them. And the writing, they're contributing to the writing. So it's changing the writing. It's adding different dimensions that I was missing before.
And you're writing in English.
Yes.
It's really cool that that's like French musicians can, help you contribute like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's really amazing. So with this last album, it was a lot of songs that I had written before, and then we reworked them as a band, kind of rearranged them, and then wrote a song together as well.
Great.
So yeah, people will be able to hear that soon.
And you studied creative writing and poetry when you were in university. How do you work that into your music? Like, do you feel like obviously that has had some impact on what you create?
Yeah. Yeah. To be real about that, I went to school for poetry, but my dad's a poet. So I grew up, he would give me poetry lessons when I was a little girl. On Sunday night, he would give me a model poem, and then I would write the poem, and then we would watch Murder, She Wrote. So, and he's always sending me his poetry, to read it before he sends it out to get published, and he's a highly published poet and also a retired journalist, like really, and my mom's a cellist as well. So, and I grew up listening to Shakespeare. So I've always had a really fierce romantic edge.
And are they supportive of what you're doing now?
Yeah, they really are.
So nice when you have creatives in your family already, because they can't be like, get a real job. It's like,
right. Yeah. They also know that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Like they know that it's scary. They know that it's like a tightrope walk a lot of times for me, but they also love me and unconditionally. And they're phenomenal.
It's such like a safe space, because you can like be brave, and you can play, and you can try new things when you have a safe like setting to do it in.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about how you would define creativity in your own words.
Oh, God. The first thing that comes to my mind immediately when you ask that question, which is such a great question, is freedom of the soul to be true.
I like that. I get so many different answers for that question. I can only define it, because people think, oh, like a painter or a writer, like a true artist or whatever. But creativity, like you said, it's about sharing your truth. It's about freedom. It's about creating.
Yeah. Breaking free from everything that has always held us down. I think that creativity is like the part of you that is, and always will be untarnished by, we go through things in life. Of course, we get hurt. We go through loss. We go through trauma. We have to do that work to reclaim ourselves. But that's not who we are. We're doing uncovering work to come back to who we really are, free from all of that. And I feel like that creative voice is that voice. Like, hey, remember who you are. This is who you really are. And that's what I love about writing songs and doing the videos for it and all of this stuff, because it's all of this stuff that happens. I feel untouchable from that.
Yeah. It's protecting you in a way to let it go.
Yeah.
And what would you say to people who say they're not creative at all? They don't know what they should do. What advice do you have?
Oh, you are. It's the human condition. Everybody is. And it's your birthright. And there's no rules. You don't even have to do art. or music or poetry or anything, one of those creative fields, you can live your life in a creative way. You can have creative thought. You can be confronted with, this is what people are telling me to think about this situation, but what do I think? I'm going to question this, and I'm going to say, what is my own thought about it? What do I really feel about it? Like, that's being creative.
Yeah. Like not just following the crowd, having your own thoughts, having your own ideas, and then just breaking free of, the cultural norms.
Yeah, totally. It's in how people dress. What do they eat? It's the silent steps of bravery. I think when you're alone and you go, I need to do this different.
Yeah.
How am I going to make a small choice that's maybe the most important choice that you can make? And no one knows that you do it.
I like that.
But you can do it for yourself.
And why do you think creatives are attracted to France? I mean, for decades, so many creative people have come here and done things. And why do you think that is?
Oh, man. It's just such fertile ground. And I do think that there's something mystical and ancient here. And there's a reverence. It's a calling, and I can't speak to what that is because I think I'm being called by that voice right now, and I haven't discovered all of what that is because I'm new to the culture.
Definitely.
But people love creativity here. They don't reject it. They're not afraid of it.
Yeah, it's very open.
They celebrate it.
It's celebrated, and even like you said, the government supports it, and in so many ways, it's not like in the States, sometimes you may even be embarrassed to be like, I'm an artist. Or like, oh, what do you do? What else? Like.
Yeah. And it's really sad because that's such a binary life over there. It's very flat. And you can feel it in the Bay where the soul has been pushed out of that city. Yeah. It's been pushed out.
Yeah. Cause it used to be such an artistic city, and now it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels very different. It feels very metallic there now. And it has very real consequences. So, that's why it's really amazing to be here.
Coming on over to the other side of the pond.
Yeah, water's warm.
And talk about what's next for the band, like what's coming out. What are you excited about?
I'm really excited about this album. So we have to now do the release plan and get videos ready and done for the singles, and just put the record out and start playing shows here. And I'm going to be shopping it to labels and management and booking agencies to get real professional support behind us and just create that for everyone here.
I think that's fantastic. And where can people connect with you and check out your music and see your music live?
Yeah. So Nitrous M1 is the name of the band. So for people who are listening, think of a female knight in shining armor. That's what that is. It's a superhero.
I love that.
It's like my superhero alter ego is Nitrous M1. So you can find the first album that I put out for that band is on all the streaming platforms. It's called Dreams and Devastation. And there's a website up, nitrousm1.com. You can connect with me on Instagram at nitrousm1_. And I think I sent you all of those links. I don't know if you can put that down.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll add that all in the show notes so everyone can check it out. Just click and
just connect. And I'm always happy to connect with people. So it matters and it means a lot.
Definitely. And when you're listening to this, everybody definitely just check out the show notes. You can see like the latest show and the latest album. And thank you so much, Emily, for chatting with me today.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure and a bright spot. So thank you.
Collect the debt of the innocent slaughtered. It's time to collect